This area here is 5 acres, a good part of it which we turned into a native woodland. Right? Now, these trees are all about 25 years old.
Okay.
So it gives you a good idea that you have a real forest after 25 years. You know, you don't have to wait too long and that type of thing. But this was what they call unenclosed. So when we planted the trees here, there was no deer fence.
Okay.
We planted them in these tubes. See these tubes?
Yeah.
So to protect them from the deer.
Okay.
Right? And then once the tree gets to a certain height, we can take that tube off and use it somewhere else.
Oh, right, okay.
Right? Yeah. But the difference is there's no real ground flora or shrub layer in this woodland.
Okay.
Right? So there's only just grass here.
Okay.
There's no wildflowers, there's no heather, there's no frockins. Right? There's no medium like holly trees or whatever. The deer have just cleared this out.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
So there's loads of deer in Wicklow, they're multiplying all the time and they're in here every night. And even if something germinated here like an acorn or a hazelnut germinated, be gone the next day.
They'd have it.
Yeah,
so deer come in here all the time?
Yeah, and they're eating.
And how did they come in?
They just walk in or jump over the fence.
Over the fence? Yeah. So he could be sitting here and a deer fucking pops in.
So the upper part of the woodland is nice.
Okay.
But the bottom of the woodland is a bit like a desert.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, now I'll show you where we deer fenced, and I'll show you the difference between the two.
Okay,
it's just amazing.
Have a look at them, yeah.
Very lucky that we have a lot of native woodland. One of the areas in Ireland that still has a lot.
Yeah.
And it was because it was inaccessible, it wasn't all cut down.
Yeah, right.
But in most places, if you look outside the fence there, right, that's all just an area of gorse. Right, now the deer don't eat the gorse because it's too sickly.
Yeah, okay.
But anything else that shoots up there, that seeds there or germinates, is eaten.
It's eaten by the deer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas in here, if you look where we've closed off with a deer fence, right, you've got, we planted some trees, but half or more than half of the trees in this area have come up naturally because when they germinated, nothing at them.
Nothing at them, so everything was able to grow. And
so all the hollies, we didn't plant any holly, we didn't plant any Scots pine, we didn't do any of the rowan, and yet they're absolutely sprouting up.
Are they rowan trees with the berry on them?
Yeah, that's rowan, mountain ash. You know?
That's mountain ash, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's great for bushcraft.
Is it, yeah?
Springy as well, that's hard and springy.
Yeah. So that's the heather.
That's heather, is it?
Yeah, we've two types of heather here in Wicklow.
Okay.
Or commonly. So the real pink one or the purple one, that's bell heather.
Right.
And this one here, the more mauvey one, is ling heather. Okay. Just coming to an end now as we head into September. It's good because it's a late flowering plant.
Right.
So it gives the pollinators source for nectar later in the summer.
The pollinators as in bees?
Bees and any insects that pollinate plants, you know.
Right, okay.
There's loads, you know, thousands of different species.
Yes.
And this gives them a food source coming into September. Just tell me whenever you're ready.
Yeah, we rolled it,
Okay, so this woodland is 12 years old. Now the other one we looked at down near to the house was 25 years old. So this is half the age, if you like, right? And it's deer fenced. So it means that there's a lot more natural regeneration. So the shrub layer, when you see the heathers, see the different types of heathers? Yeah. And then here you've got the frockins, you know, the blueberries. Yes. And then you've got the ferns, the hard ferns they're called. Yeah. And also the variety of trees, because we didn't plant any holly here. All this holly has just come naturally from the seed that was in the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
Once the pine forest was felled, they got a chance to germinate.
Oh, and grow.
And they haven't been eaten. If this was not felled, they would have been eaten as tiny little seedlings.
So there was pine here, it got all taken out, felled, and then you bought it, or?
we bought it before we felled it.
Oh, okay, right,
you know,
okay.
And then we put in this woodland.
And some of your trees for the cabin came from up here.
Yeah.
So this is where the wood cabin.
Yeah, originally.
It's amazing that it's so close to where you are, and you dragged all them down here.
Yeah, down the hill, but that was easy enough. It's downhill, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You're pulling them uphill now. You'd be.
Yeah, that would be a different.
Which are higher. Then you've got the oak trees there. You've got lots of holly.
Are they native oak, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, look at them.
So
beautiful.
this will give you a layered ecosystem. So you'll have the canopy trees, which are the high ones, which create the canopy.
Okay, yes.
Then you have the understory trees, which are the smaller ones, mostly holly and hazel. And then you'll have the shrub layer, which will be the heathers and the frockens.
Okay.
And then you'll have the ground flora,
Stuff
which will
like
be
this,
mosses and liverworts and smaller plants like that.
Wow.
So you've got like 4 or 5 different layers stacked on top of each other.
So did you have to do any, you planted something
We
here?
we planted about, I think, I can't remember how many trees, quite a lot.
100, like,
Oh yeah, thousands.
Oh, thousands.
But, you know, we've only planted half the trees that are in here.
Yeah,
the other half came in naturally. And that adds the sort of variety.
Yes, yes.
You know?
And also, did you plant, I can see the oak tree, the leaf there.
Yeah.
That's a native oak. Did you plant them?
Yeah, we planted the oaks in here.
Yeah, that's what I would have
But
thought,
we didn't plant the hollies. But you can also see, if I give you a look at this here, look at this holly here, right? There's this year's growth. So it's growing maybe 2 foot. See that?
Oh wow, yeah.
You can see this is the new growth all from here.
Right, okay.
And if we look at one of the oaks here, you'll see there's the growth for this year. See that?
That
from there to there.
Oh, okay.
You know? Now, and
Right, nothing as beautiful
from
as an
here,
oak tree, is there?
so it's maybe, that's a 16 inches there on that.
Yeah.
And the great thing about the woodland is that when the tree is starting off, it looks just like this, one little stalk going up.
Right, yes.
Right,
yeah.
and the next year it'll grow a bit.
Yeah.
As the tree gets bigger,
Yeah.
it's spreading out in all
As well.
directions.
Oh, yeah.
And there's growth going all over the place. So you get sort of an exponential growth.
I love oak trees, the way they do that, and then those big, huge branches sprawling out, like other trees are just straight with little branches.
So that'll show you. Now I'm going to show you an area up here that is outside the fence.
Right, okay.
Same amount of time.
Yes.
Right now, 12 years. Yes, we did plant some trees here, but we didn't plant any of the ground layers or anything like that. No. That's all natural. Amazing. Right? And it's a biodiversity rich area, full of the flora and the plants,
and
but
the
also
insects as well,
all of the insects, badgers, foxes,
really,
you know, red squirrels, the works.
Oh, the red squirrels are back. I've been seeing them, I have.
Now let's go up here.
Keep filming, Max,
Yeah.
It's just a bit of a walk. I can keep in.
Okay. Right, so here we are in an area just outside the deer fence, right? So there's no natural regeneration, or very, very little. Anything that germinates here is either eaten by the deer, or because this ferns has taken over.
You don't eat that.
The deer don't eat that, but this creates a very dark ground where the trees would probably die with lack of light.
No sunlight.
Yeah, no sunlight. So this area is just a couple of acres of this stuff, the bracken ferns. Okay. Now we have put a few trees in it.
I noticed them there, yeah.
As part of our rewilding, and we've put them in tubes. So the deer tend to browse down low. They don't necessarily go up high. So those tubes, those trees will come out of that. Now eventually they will cause a little bit of a canopy here. It'll create shade, and maybe this bracken will die back.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, most of the Wicklow Mountains, you can see that field over there. Look at that.
Right.
The ferns are just taking over.
Oh yes, yeah.
And you can even see it way up on the mountain up there. The ferns are beginning to
take over, yeah.
Yeah, even in the heather areas. And it's a big problem all over the Wicklow Mountains. And you get no natural regeneration of our native trees. Unfortunately, the only things that tend to germinate quite well because they're not eaten by the deer, are the rhododendrons, the Sitka spruce and the gorse, and the bracken ferns.
And the bracken ferns,
yeah.
okay.
Compared to, this is a desert of just one plant.
Of one plant.
Compared to what's in behind
I mean, how lush and rich all it was down there.
Yeah.
And look at all the different varieties.
Yeah.
I mean, is there 20 different varieties?
Yeah, there would be, yeah, 20 different sort of trees down there.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can see the Scots pine coming up, which is our native pine tree, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And that, so, and you'll notice yourself, if you go across to that woodland over there.
Right. Is that too far?
It's across the river there.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? You'll notice that on the bottom of it, there's nothing.
There's nothing now.
That's too dark, it's too acidy.
I have noticed it, yeah.
Yeah, whereas in our woodland it's just absolutely rich with...
Isn't it just?
Yeah, yeah. So there you are.
And so
Say 10 or 12 years.
yeah.
And already here we are underneath the trees.
Yeah, in the canopy.
With a real forest feel to it, you know?
Yeah.
A woodland feel. So it doesn't take long. If you can just keep the deer out of an area,
Yeah.
plant some trees and let the other ones do their job.
Everything thrives.
Yeah.
Probably get so much more nutrition as well, right?
Huh?
They probably get so much more nutrition as well with the other plants being here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Take that off, keep them out.
It's amazing.
Okay, so behind our fence there's an area of Scots pine, and that's basically being the seed source for all of the Scots pine that have germinated here. So the seeds have blown in from those trees and they've germinated. So all these Scots pine that you see, this is Ireland's only pine tree, native pine tree.
Scots pine is it?
Yeah, so they've come.
And where
They've
does it get the name
self-seeded.
Scott? Is it from Scotland, is it?
It's the same sort of area, same sort of environment as what we have here.
Oh, okay.
It's Pinus alba is the scientific name, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. And well now here, this one here, see this tree? This is ash,
Yeah.
and this has been affected by the dieback disease.
Right.
So there's I think it's a fungus came in from infected trees that were brought in from Denmark, I think it was. And now all the ash trees in Ireland are going to die.
Oh, really? No more hurley sticks?
No, I don't know what they're going to do.
Wow.
So it's a bit like the elm disease, Dutch elm disease that came in, I don't know, maybe in the mid part of the last century, killed all the elm. This is going to affect all the ash trees, and unfortunately ash is not big in this area, but in a lot of the hedgerows in Ireland it's the premier tall tree.
Oh, right.
And when you're driving round,
Yeah.
just watch it, you'll see most of the top branches have already started to die.
Oh, wow.
And this
That's a
thing will
shame,
be dead
isn't
in a
it?
few years' time.
And that's a
Yeah,
shame.
it's serious. It's a serious thing.
And that disease, it's a bacterial thing for the tree, is it? Like
it's a fungal thing. I think
fungal,
it is.
yeah.
And that's why it spreads so easily, because the fungus spreads with spores. You know, I mean, once it got into the country, it gets everywhere. Yeah, in no time at all. So it's a real disaster.
So that's going to die.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that
all
tree
the ash trees. You can see even the ones down by the house now.
Yeah.
Beginning to get this what they call dieback.
Right.
You know, so the top branches start.
Isn't that a shame, isn't it? Yeah. Isn't it just beautiful here? Oh, geez. Look up there. Yeah, so we're just back from visiting Zef's 10 acres of land that he's rewilding. It's like a paradise, wasn't it?
It was amazing, man, to see. Yeah, he was so knowledgeable about it as well.
And passionate as well.
Very passionate, you could see it, yeah. He wanted to show his It was great.
So
Very knowledgeable.
he's a legend because he's 10 acres of land there. It's not good for building on or anything. It's all at slopes and stuff, you know. But 60% of he felled all the Sitka pines,
Sika, yeah. So
large
Sika spruce, is it?
Sika spruce, yeah.
Sika spruce, yeah.
And this is the large trees that he took from that land that we seen earlier, yeah. So he built this out of wood that he fell down there, and then he planted some stuff, but about, did he say 60% of it is organically from seeds fallen?
I think he said something like that, yeah.
Yeah. They had to build a fence around to let the deers out, and I think you might have we showed in the video earlier the difference of the land that there was no deers, because they ate everything. Except for spiky things.
I didn't realise they were that toxic for the environment.
They're bad, they're bad. And there's not enough being cold either.
Is that right, yeah?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at that for a piece of meat. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Huh? It's not for vegetarians, this. Okay. Black pepper. Oh, that looked great on the film. Okay. Whoa, great heat coming from there. Amazing heat coming from there. Oh, jeepers. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so the steak's nearly done. We're just doing up the mushrooms and the black. So, what's the verdict on the tomahawk steak?
10 out of 10 would do again, pal.
10 out of 10, yeah?
Yeah, it's lovely.
It's good. I like mine done a bit more well done than Max's. I'm just going
I've
to
done a continent for some years.
fry off a bit of the onions or the mushrooms here and heat up that whatever it is, black bean chilli. Yeah, delish. Zef has joined us and we're just eating some steak, having some beans and some mushrooms, and so at this point we'll say back soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Yeah, so hi everybody, good morning. I'm hiking back down there now. I'll be hiking through Glendalough there now, about a half hour. So yeah, the bus is down here. Either it leaves, I think it's 9 o'clock in the morning, or 4:30. So like I would have been left waiting around for a long time to wait for that 4:30 bus. So I'm just gonna stick out my tongue. I'm sure I'll get a lift. That's how I got here anyway, from 2 separate people. From Hitching. So yeah, so look, I hope it was real. It wasn't really an adventure on this one, because it was more an educational one. So I hope you all enjoyed looking at that, learning about that rewilding, because a lot more people need to be like Zef and do that kind of stuff, you know. So I made it to Lara, and I was hitching there, and I bumped another YouTuber that I know pulled by. I keep meaning to mention her. Her name is Miriam Kennedy. That's the name of her channel, Miriam Kennedy. She does a lot of hills and mountains, and I think bar none, she's one of the best flying a drone of any YouTubers. So go over and check her channel out. It's Miriam Kennedy. Yeah, Miriam, thanks for the lift, Ireland. And I'll see you again sometime. And for everybody else, thanks for watching, and see you on the next one. Take care. Ciao for now. Bye bye.